today is Patricia Ann Madden Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from the privacy, the safety, and the beloved sanctuary of my sweet cousin Lori and her beautiful home and estate with their gorgeous father child. At the time of this recording, it is Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. So, okay, how's it going, everybody? There's quite the ethical shakedown being levied out in the spirit. Are you feeling it? Has it come to knock on your door, pay you a personal visit? Because I'd be very surprised if it hasn't. But, yeah, you know, part of my, psychic investigations include me, researching the other psychic investigators on YouTube. And, one of my favorites, they're all my favorite, really, because everybody is like a spice. Some, you know, there's different spices for different speeds and different, ebb and flow in the current of your life. And then so, each one of us have a different niche. And so, Adana Olson of the Afro Zen, shout out to you, Queen. I enjoy your energy so much. And yeah, then your fantastic laugh is just so exciting because I know what you're laughing about too. And to see spirit, you know, take on a comical view, I mean, of things being so grotesque, but to pull out the artistry of the irony and of the humor in it, that's freaking awesome. But, yes, if you haven't checked out her channel, please do. She's amazing. And, I've attached a couple of her video clips of, how the ops, yeah, what's up, you witches? What's going on? What's going on for all you witches and warlocks practicing the moonarchy? You know, because guess what? You couldn't kill me or any one of the other chosen ones, you know? So, that should concern you. There's a lot of backfired.
They're hiding that they're really sick. That's what they're hiding. Pray is in reverse. They're praying, but it's not going anywhere. Stuck energy. The prayers that they're praying is not being answered. It's like they're stuck within self. And they're being forced to open their eyes to see themselves, and they can't face themselves. But they can face and watch other people go through cruelty. They can't withstand their own harm to self. They can't take it. It's too brutal. It's too much. It's too oppressive. That should make you think. And they can't sit in their own oppressive energy. They can't sit in their own oppressive energy, but they were okay with other people feeling that from them. That's crazy. Their own energy have them in a chokehold, and they can't get out of it. Their own energy. Like they're suffocating in their own energy. Things are balanced out. Healing is in reverse. They're not healing anything. They're self-destructing before your eyes.
They'll work, gunning for you and yours. So, you know, the irony is that now that all of this, from what I'm learning, is that the year 2024 is the year of karma. All of that backfired spell work has got to be rather juicy for you. Now, here's the deal for all the opposition, for everybody who had partaken And that forbidden fruits to get your little palms greased for coming sideways at somebody. You get your power from coming at somebody's back. And I love how Kuan Yin, well, shout out to you, my queen, of I have no cut cards to row. I mean, she was so right whenever it was just like, okay, you go get your freak on by coming sideways at somebody from their back. It's kind of like, take that. I mean, it's horrific if you're a man. I'm like, gay man, straight man, bi man, it don't matter. Especially when you're a man coming sideways at another woman. What the fuck is the matter with you? All for what? Ill-begotten gain to harvest somebody else's energy? I'm like, I'm not sentimental so much to, or nostalgic to people, places, or things. Because I like to, if I start to feel like I'm longing for a person, place, or thing, I fall in love with my future. And I remember the day that I was reunited with that, especially when it comes to my children, because there's many opportunities to feel a little forlorn and start missing them. But no, I'm like, I fall in love with my future. Other than that, I do have a nostalgic sense and a sentimental sense for all of the lessons I've conquered. And so all of you fuckwads with the targeting of the individual, with all of the gang stalking, the group stalking, and all of your organized crime, your criminal ring, and your organized hate crime criminal ring of your psyop, psycho theater and the such, you guys really put me through the ringer. And I had to pony up and survive all of that in the middle of having my whole life stripped away from me in that godforsaken Zetzer song of yours. While you guys were coming sideways at me in the constant onslaught, I posted a couple of videos, just which pretty much earmarked the 1-year anniversary of me going through that particular video. And my big question then was, so did you get extra bonus points for making your target cry? I get it. Yes, you did. Each time that a target or a person in particular lets off emotional outbursts, that's you guys kind of like shaking the jackpot machine and then the coins, coming out. Yeah, you do get payout for that, don't you? I recognize that now, not so much at the time. I'm a learner. I will always seek to find the answers of why x plus y equals z. You can tell me x plus y equals z, sure, but I want to know how it gets to z. I know now. Yeah, you guys got your devil worshipping coin from that, didn't you? And then so fast forward a whole year later, now you all have to sit in your own macabre ways because, you guys, how many railroaded targets have you guys already bludgeoned into the ground? Because I promise you, they're still there. And whenever you all cross over, they're going to give you the beat down and the ethereal spirit that I would say it would be a surprise to see it coming, but you know it's coming. You know it's there. If they haven't started haunting your ass already. And for everybody who has come sideways at me, and other earth angels, and the other 144K, bitch, you took it up with the legions of angels that guard and protect us. Because you thought you all could thwart us from our own destinies? Yeah, well, all to each their own on their own paths, but for those that have dug in our heels deep and decided to pick up that cross and hold tight to it, we're unstoppable, bitches. All you guys ever did was create more pressure for us to refine our diamond outcome. So now that it's been a whole year for the lot of you coming sideways at me, a lot has changed, hasn't it? I learned who I am. And I'm still even learning in the expansion packs of that awareness. But the biggest thing that I've come to recognize is that as a chosen one, it's not even just being a chosen one. It's anybody in particular who has learned to call their energy back. I learned to call my energy back. And none of you will ever get to suckle my little titties for your fucking energy harvesting. So yeah, not going to happen anymore. And now that all that backfired spell work has come to grace your life, how do you like it? I mean, we so strife, and the rest of us had to survive our seppuku. Don't think that you're going to be able to get away with seppuku, do you? I mean, you're not going to be able to suicide out. You can try, sure. But I will tell you this. If you try to suicide out, your avatar will make it. You will survive that at all the great odds. And then what's going to happen is that all of a sudden you'll recognize how much better your life really was off with an intact avatar, as opposed to one that's mangled and mutilated, now lying in a hospital bed somewhere, godforsaken. Not all nursing homes are bad, but I will say this. Doesn't matter how pretty the veneer of the covering is in the foyer of any fucking nursing home, which you have to look at is the ethics of each individual nurse, because it doesn't matter if it's in a rundown, poor part of the community. I've seen some stellar women and men working in those nursing units, and then seen the most pristine of nursing homes with such a beautiful chandelier and foyer that, you know, not so great when it comes to the healthcare delivery. I've seen everything being a practicing paramedic. And then so I say that to say because you're going to get the care of all of the gang-stalking cesspool workers that have learned to govern their paychecks and their lives with the ill-begotten blood coin. Slough off the blood, never mind the bone marrow, and all of the children sodomized in that fucking cesspool. And I'm going to say this to you and to anybody that has decided to take up work in the Central Intelligence Unit or, you know, CIA, FBI, or whatever that run the spell work. You better watch yourselves, because you're participating in enabling all of the cesspool of the children molested. You need to stop and take stock of that, because if you don't, you're going to end up picking up the karmic bill for that. Now, whether or not you had human trafficked a kid yourself, and whether or not you had sexually trafficked a child into another pedophile's fucking bed, you will pick, in the 1111, as I say that in my timer, you will pick up the karma for that ticket. So I encourage everybody who has been hired to run spell work, and even if you're not privy to that with your own eyes or your own hands on, everything you do does enable that kind of action, whether or not that was your particular task. It's kind of like whenever you swim in the sewer, you're part of the sewer. So watch out for that. But for all of you other spell workers, you know who's come sideways at me. A whole year later, do you like having to sit in your own energy that you created? Because it was okay for everybody to have to endure your sidewise attempts at destroying somebody else's life. Now what happens whenever your targets become healed and you can no longer reach them, and now all of your backfired spell work has come to wrangle your headspace into oblivion of detriments? Do you like it? Because
spreading truth scares them, but the shit that they're doing doesn't scare them unless they're in the limelight or people see them. They're dealing with fucking pedophiles. They're hiding pedophiles and protecting fucking pedophiles. But people speaking out is considered the evil ones or the mean ones. It don't make sense. You protecting a fucking pedophile. Like what? So you have protection, collective. As I've been saying, transcend. You ain't going to motherfucking place. Okay? Those death magics are being sent back, and they're shipping orders. Final orders are being called. Oh, hey, you ordered a death magic? Yeah, okay. Well, here we go. Confirmation. Okay? Let's get you to your final destination. Clarity. Yeah. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get their final destination, alright? The head of this all, the person that orchestrated all of this, they're getting ready to, and then once they pre-transition, you're just gonna see it just everybody, everyone that was involved in this, every person that was involved in this, no matter how big or small, every person that was involved in this, you will hear that they passed. So it was 50 people, 10 people. Because they all sent out death spells towards you collectively, towards the collective. For no fucking reason. For no reason. And each person that sent out that energy to you is being returned to them. You can't handle death, but you want to cause it for people. That makes sense. You won't take accountability for what you caused. Okay. Nice. It's already starting to happen. Some of their family members have transitioned. They can't handle that. Well, I mean, stop throwing death magic.
I was just getting started, bitches. I mean, there is that transitory space between the overlap of, your heyday and then the heyday of all the karma coming to, pay you a hands-on visit. Because, it's still the Ides of March, bitches. And not one of you dastardly bitches who had run sideways game at me, who had been able to support families off siphoning my energy, and anybody who's known of my fucking case, nobody's come to bridge any ambiguity. And you know what? You gotta return all the items that were usurped from me. Not just me, but all the other targets as well. And if you can't do that, well, it looks like you're really fucked. I mean, your backdated karma for everything you took and stole from others is what's going to line your coffin. I mean, whenever it gets really hard for you to wake up with all the burdens, you didn't think you were going to get away without feeling suicidal, did you? Because if you did, well, that was the whole point. You were supposed to choose the difference between making a positive difference in somebody else's life or choose the temptation of the rotten fruit. So not all money is good money. And if you had thought that you could partake in all of the negativity, you're sadly mistaken. Because now it's your turn to sit in all of the oppression that you all created for other people. Well, not just me. I'm just one target out of many. I am the voice of the others who have been railroaded into the ground. And I am the voice for the others that are too godsmacked to be able to even articulate or disseminate what the fuck you guys were doing. And then there are other many voices of targeted individuals speaking up and speaking out about all of this wickedness. But the good news is that the oppression of everything that you ever created for somebody else, it was okay for you all to come sideways at all the other people, just so you can choose your pick apart amongst the people for your sudden wealth payouts, wasn't it? And it was okay for you all to collude and collaborate with all the other evil motherfuckers just to get a grub down for your final payout. I mean, how many of you guys were expecting to get the call that, Miss Little Patricia Ann Landon Regality Chief Little Flower, well, it's payday, everybody! Right? You expected that, didn't you? Well, I have a vision that everything that was happening to me would have been returned in the ethereal 5D. So why on earth would I come across somebody else of my own volition when all I could ever do was just, try to deliver vengeance, one-on-one? It don't work like that. I mean, you can choose, but if you choose to do that, you really shortchange yourself, short-sheet yourself, because only the ethers and the universe and God, the Most High, could deliver such poetic justice in ways the 3D flesh could never do. So, yeah, lucky for you, I was aware of that. And poetic justice will come to teabag your own motherfucking life in all the ways you all created strife for all the other targets to have to rise up above, and for the others that succumb to it for your greedy snuff films. So, for everybody positive and of ethics working on my case, where the fuck are you? You didn't want to have the heavy hand of karma give you an ethical shakedown in the poetic justice ethereal 5D, did you? Because the longer you all let me go on without knowing my own hardcore facts and bridge the ambiguity with some truth and with some justice, well, you all just really chose your own deaths, really. Because all of this was created to cause the targets to succumb to death. So by nature, just for you all keeping your fool ass mouth shut, you choose death. Make it a good one, everybody, because the Holy is watching. If it means a thing to you, but otherwise, thank you, Adana Olson, the Afrozen, for breaking down what's going on in the camp of all the evil doing, and for everybody who's ran spell work on me, who continues to run spell work on me. You guys really didn't mind being the trilobites and all of the, the bottom feeders of the world, did you? What, you thought you were entitled to somebody else's life? You thought you were entitled to somebody else's energy? And for everybody that thought they could usurp my inheritance, you took the bait. All you had to do was just bring it to me and ask for some of it. I would have shared it with you. Now I know who to share with and who not to share with. So all you all ever did, Houston, Texas, The Woodlands, Texas, Spring, Texas, Timber Lakes, Timber Ridge, Tim Regali, Barbara Regali, Monica Regali, Paul Regali, Brian Rice, Marcella Maria Landa Comiskey, Liam Comiskey, Patrick Creekmore, Penny Creekmore, Amy Coleman, possibly Kip Metcalf. I allege y'all were getting your beef cakes on, didn't you? With all of the grub down for all of the taking, huh? To cause people to commit suicide, to run sideways, gang stalking, psyops, hate crimes on everybody. Well, you too, Washington State. You all have a grub down coming in the ethereal 5D because there's a lot of misgivings you thought you could all take from people. Well, you were wrong. So at any rate, Ben, Patricia, and Landon Regali coming at you from the privacy, the safety, and the beautiful sanctuary of my sweet cousin Lori and her sweet estate. Peace for now. Bye-bye.